I'm just out of this shit. Like, dude, I don't even understand how not even managed to do so. Yeah. Man, this shit is just so frustrating, man. That is just frustrating. That's frustrating. That's frustrating. Honestly, I really don't get how you can get stopped out short when the market is bearish. That is like the craziest thing. It's just a concept that it's hard to grasp. How did I get stopped out going short? And it becomes very frustrating when the market just has this boast of, or this burst of bullishness. You get in short, the market pushes all the way up to your stop and stops you out, and then it goes in your direction. Frustrating. And in order for my long entry to get filled, it would have to come all the way back down. I was in a silver short, and for whatever reason, it decided to pop right back up as it was going down, stops me out, and then comes down. And I only have one trade a day in that account. It's kind of pissed me off, and it locks. Just for the thing to come right back down. Hey, what's up, Rocket? I went on tilt. And then the market decided just to fall from the heavens. And I just refused to close the position. I was just that pissed. I forgot that this account had a daily loss limit. I forgot about that because I think I wouldn't have lost the account. I think it would have bounced just in time, or I would have been close, but it would have bounced. Maybe. No, I probably would have lost the account because I just refused to close it. It came to my break even. I wasn't even in profit, but I was just so pissed. I was pissed, man. I was pissed because y'all remember that. Actually, I think I have it recorded. I think. No, this ain't it. I was just pissed, man. Because remember, I was in short. So so I wasn't necessarily, I mean, I got in at the 20 level. I mean, the short initially worked, but it just wasn't enough to hit a target. I still had some limit orders down there, and then it pushes higher. So I said, you know what? I'll scale into this thing, put my stop. I put my stop like above this high right here, above that high. And I was like, well, shit, if this thing goes above this high, then, you know, this is likely to squeeze, and I would have gotten that other limit order filled. So I was like, well, let me just I mean, I'll just put my stop here, and that'll be that. So this thing squeezes higher like I thought. It stops me out, and I was like, fine, I got this limit up here. It's highly likely to fill it. So you already know the Nasdaq doesn't even come up here. It stops me out. It doesn't fill this order, and then we get this super dump. So that already sent me. I was just pissed, man. I was pissed. I was like, dude, I was short. I mean, and then it's like, to add insult to injury, like, this was so unnecessary. I mean, if this was so unnecessary, I had my stop well above this high, to where I was like, well, I mean, if it stops me out, that means it wants to go higher. But the Nasdaq just found a way. She found a way to stop me out, and then she had the nerve to dump. The nerve to dump. So I mean, that just sent me off the edge, man. I was just pissed. Pissed, man. Yeah, dude, like, god damn. No. Yeah, like, it was like, what was the point of that? So that shit pissed me off. And I lost $3,000 because of it. I just refused to close the position. I just refused, man. I was already the Nasdaq grabbed me by the hand earlier today. She grabbed me by the hand, and she just kept dumping. And the thing is that I had some good entries. It's just that it just kept getting knocked down. I did catch the bottom though in my other account, because, dude, I was not gonna let the Nasdaq get away with that bullshit. I was not gonna let her get away with it. After I hit the daily loss limit, I went to my other account, and I was like, dude, we're gonna keep buying this shit until we lose accounts, or we ain't got no more accounts, and she's gonna do what I want. And so you already know I caught this move going higher, but it cost me my daily loss limit. It cost me about 3K, 3,700 to be exact. I made some of that back tonight, but this is why I try to. So moving forward, I kind of thought about this. I'm not going to treat the Nasdaq. I'm not going to try to turn the Nasdaq into a housewife, man. I'm not going to turn her into a housewife, man. I've been trading her as if I can consistently do this every day. It's not so much that you can't find the right area on the Nasdaq. It's so much so that the randomness sometimes. It's the randomness is in real time. When the candles are painted on the chart, everything is so simple, and it's like, man, this is easy. All you have to do is buy and sell here. But in real time, you get into what looks like to be a good play, and then it does this for no reason. For no reason. I mean, how the hell do you break structure to the downside, and then out of nowhere just find your way to chop back up, swipe liquidity, and then dump? It's just stuff like that. It's like, dude, under pressure, stuff like this is devastating. And when I'm in a Nasdaq position, my mindset isn't trading, it's I hope that I got into this position at the right time. That's my mindset. Hopefully, I don't get stopped out of a potentially winning position because the Nasdaq wants to be random. That's my mindset when I get into these positions. So I'm not getting the same results in the Nasdaq as I get with gold and silver, because once gold and silver break structure. That's it. That's all she wrote. I don't have to worry about the randomness. So I can structure my trades, I can plan my trades, and I can feel confident in my trade. I know that if I get stopped out, then I'm wrong. If I'm trading correctly. With the Nasdaq, you can get stopped out of a winning position and she'll make you feel like you're wrong. And she'll shamelessly show and says, "Oh yeah, you know you was right. I was just fucking with you. You know you was right." Just makes you want to punch that bitch in her face, man. I told Alfred, I was like, man, if I can punch the Nasdaq, I would punch her. So, yeah, I lost about 3K today. No, actually, I lost about $4,900 because I lost another $1,000 in the wifey account. I just couldn't let it go, man. I just couldn't let it go. The Nasdaq took something from me. I just couldn't let it go. Just couldn't let it go. Hey, yo, what's up, Tony? You know, honestly, man, I went through so many stages, man. I considered going back to the ES, but then I was like, nah, I can't let that bitch get away with it. I can't let her get away with that. I can't let her get away with it. I can't let her get away. I can't let the Nasdaq get away with what she did today. I can't. I gotta trade her. I gotta take her for all she got, man. I can't let her get away with it. I was even setting up the ES, like, dude, I told Alfred, I was like, dude, this is gonna be my last Nasdaq trade. And here I am. Like I never left. Like I never left. I deleted Nasdaq on the chart and everything. And here she is. This is why we find ourselves in toxic relationships, because we put so much work into it. We want a return for our efforts. And anything less than that is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So what if I make money on ES? That means the Nasdaq won. The Nasdaq can't win. I can't let her win. She can't win. So I've kind of I know how I should trade the Nasdaq. I know how I should trade her. I mean, this is just pure gambling. That's what this is, man. Every time you take a good setup on the Nasdaq, it's always a gamble, because you just don't know if she's just gonna just do a random liquidity sweep. You just don't know. So I'm gonna trade gold and silver. So I'm gonna document my gold and silver trades. I'm not documenting my Nasdaq trades because I find that, or I guess how I'm a structured thing is, the Nasdaq, I'm just going to trade it for fun. I'm not even taking it seriously. I'm just going to trade it for fun. When I get this account to goal, when it becomes a funded account, I'll still trade Nasdaq. I'm not going to take it seriously. But I'm going to take my gold and silver trade seriously, because they add to my peace. The Nasdaq, she tries to take that peace away from me. She tries to disrupt my peace with her chaos. Hey, what's up, Cave Trader? You are kind of trading in supply, though. So I'm just gonna keep it small. I'm just gonna trade maybe 2 contracts. If I see a good setup, If there's a fair value gap, if there's momentum, I'll just trade 2 or 3 contracts. Take multiple trades, try to have fun with it, not take the Nasdaq seriously, because it seems like when I try to take her seriously, that's when I find myself not performing as well. And I think that's probably the secret with the Nasdaq, just not taking her seriously. Even though silver pissed me off tonight too. Like silver did that bullshit too, man. Man, that shit pissed me off. And this is what silver did. I mean, I will say that I kind of did chase silver because I was trying to get in. So I get in right here, and then silver pops back up and stops me out, and then she does this bullshit right here, man. She does this bullshit right here. After doing this little pop-up candle, man. But I already locked out my funded accounts. She did that in one of my funded accounts. So on Thursday night, if given the opportunity, whichever account it has not been traded, that's the account that will be traded. I do not trade any of my funded accounts on Fridays, but on Thursday night, I give myself one funded account to trade and just one trade on Thursday night. And whatever happens with that account, happens with that account. And I lock my other 2, so. I don't feel compelled to trade in those accounts. I'm following my rules. I did kind of break my rule tonight in terms of I know better than to kind of chase silver, but I figured that it was kind of close enough to my original entry that it would have just been okay. And then for whatever reason, silver just decided to pull that bullshit. So because the amount of I mean, if you scalp silver, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can probably get a good scalp right here and probably target those highs, but I don't trade silver that way. Mm. Like it's frustrating because it's like, well, that type of bullshit works any other time. It's like, well, shit. You're not really locked into it neither. You're not locked into it. You're not locked. You're not locked into it. But maybe I should start. Maybe I should start. Okay. Well, that was a good entry here on the Nasdaq, though. That was a good entry on the Nasdaq. Damn. Yeah, it looks like everybody kind of got caught up in that move earlier. Man, tilt is just such a tilt is an annoying thing. I'm reading the comments and a lot of people are talking about it. Nasdaq is just very frustrating. Lifetime regret. Bottom take. I mean, I have a system on Nasdaq that I use, and it works. What gets in the way of that system is obviously me, and just the randomness and the fear of missing out on Nasdaq. Now, this is not my original entry. This is not my original entry, but I did catch the bottom though. I went long on this pullback when I saw that the market broke out and then pulled back. I got in at, I think at around like 45, 47, and I've just scaled into the position, and it just so happened that my break even is at where price. Well, I guess I did add on to right here. But I mean, I have several rules with the Nasdaq. I mean, I've already shared it with you guys that the Nasdaq just loves that number and a quarter or a number and 3/4, like 5 3/4, 7 3/4, one of those two. if the level I'm looking at is 5 3/4, I usually use 7 3/4 and vice versa. If it's 70, if I'm looking at a 70 level as an example, then I use 75 3/4. The Nasdaq has been doing the same thing for a very long time. It's just what makes it difficult is just the randomness in real time. And that's why I just can't let Nasdaq go. Because it's like, man, I have all this information. It just seems like I just add to this information. I just feel like I'm just not getting the results that I want with Nasdaq. Just not getting the results I want. I used to be able to trade with minis comfortably, but I mean, obviously the market is different. It's more volatile now. I mean, I feel like actually no, I feel like it's less volatile because I mean, back in the pre-Doge days, the Nasdaq would move 500 plus points in both directions. So I don't feel like it's more volatile. It's just more, it chops more, which is kind of a cognitive dissonance because we're so used to okay. It's just a cognitive dissonance with how much it chops now before it actually makes the move. So it's like, I mean, it's different. You just have to adjust, but I mean, it's still doing the same thing, but differently. But I'm just not getting the results that I want with the Nasdaq right now. I'm getting that results with gold and silver, but I guess as long as Trump is president, gold and silver is going to move the way it moves, and just trading gold is the best option in my opinion. I would trade gold over silver and the Nasdaq any day. Honestly, I should just probably focus 100% on gold. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Silver moves too slow, but the moves are pretty consistent. Nasdaq moves too randomly, and I'm not 100% confident in the trade. But when I put on a gold trade, I'm 100% confident in gold because I know, at least for right now, that it doesn't do anything outside of the norm. Gold is very straightforward. It's a very straightforward instrument. I mean, the breakout pullback trade is really all you need on gold. You really don't need anything else on gold. You can trade gold aggressively, you can, but you'll make more money just waiting for it to break out of a consolidation and trading the pullback. You'll make way more money. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually going to try something on gold here. Let me look at gold real quick. Let me look at gold. Actually, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I was thinking about taking a short here because technically this is the retest of that breakout that we saw earlier, technically. But it doesn't look like the market wants to short. It doesn't look like the market wants to short here. I mean, and if it does, I guess I would prefer to trade the I would prefer to take the long entry. That's my preferable trade. Taking a short here would probably, I would feel it would be a trade that has less than a 50% confidence level, but it has a moderate level. It's kind of like a 50-50 that it can short here because technically this is the retest, but there's a lot of momentum that if I were to short this right now, just a lot of momentum. Yeah, I mean, I probably would have still missed it though, because I would have had it at 52.9. So, I mean, it's not necessarily a big deal. I still missed it. 52.9. I would prefer to pull back. The 3K loss was I was trading on tilt with Nasdaq earlier today. I got caught up in that random liquidity sweep, and I just had a hard time accepting that loss. That's it. That's all. I didn't close the position, and I let the account go to daily loss limit. So I had the recording, but I think I taped over it. Just to kind of go back over the trade, during the morning stream, I got in at like 23. I scaled in at like 30. The trade was profitable initially, but it popped back up. So I had another area that I was looking at where the market could potentially short. I scaled in. Actually, that's interesting. I scaled in where my entry's at. I scaled in at 67. And I put my stop above this high. I was willing to use my initial profits from this morning as extra drawdown. And I told myself that if I got stopped out, if price ran above this high, then it was highly likely to go higher and that I should just stop out and accept the loss. And I was okay with that. But the Nasdaq found a way to stop me out and then go in my direction. That pissed me off. I wait until I started trading on tilt. I scaled in, and what added fuel to the fire is that, I was scaling in at good areas. I got the reaction that I was looking for at these areas, these bounces. But the market just kept going lower until eventually I hit daily loss limit in the account. So, yeah, the Nasdaq, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people got taken out with this little random liquidity sweep and then this unwillingness to buy. And supposedly, there was some news. Actually, I think, hold on, let me see if I can find the news that actually caused this drop in the Nasdaq. Yeah, so Nvidia and AMD shipments to all nations would need US approval, and the market decided to drop. US drafts rules requiring licenses for AI chip exports worldwide. And the market decided to dump on that. I mean, I can understand, but if we're going to sit there and just dump the market for some bullshit like that and then just buy it all the way back up and end up exactly where we left off in the same session. In the same session. It's like they cried about it for 2 seconds and then they bought it right back up. It's like, oh my God, we can't. NVIDIA and AMD have to ask permission. And it's like, oh yeah, let's buy the dip here. So, I mean, if I wouldn't have been as angry if it just would have went higher, and I just would have been wrong, but I felt cheated, and once I feel that I was cheated out of a winning position, well, that's all it took. I will say that this week, I mean, I guess we'll talk about it tomorrow morning, but this week, it's just another week where I'm just not getting the results that I want with the Nasdaq. It just seems like every week goes by and it's just something new that the Nasdaq does. It just kind of pisses me off. Well, I guess to be more clear, it just feels like I don't have her chaos contained in a box. I try to structure the Nasdaq as much as possible, but it just feels like some of that chaos, some of it slips through the cracks. It feels like a Pandora's box or something like that. That's what it feels like. And I want to have the same success with the Nasdaq that I have with silver and gold, because I'll have more trading opportunities in the Nasdaq than I do with gold and silver. I mean, gold does have a lot of opportunities, but I mean, for the most part, it chops and ranges, and I'm looking for a breakout to trade the pullback. And with the Nasdaq, I mean, there's so many opportunities that I don't have to wait for a breakout pullback. I can kind of get in, hope for the best, and usually when I hope for the best, everything works out. That doesn't work with gold or silver, so. I just kind of want to be over this hump with the Nasdaq. I just want to be over the hump. It just feels like, I'm catching all these points with the Nasdaq, but I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. And I think that's what's been limiting my results with the Nasdaq. I don't trust that it's going to do what I need it to do when I need it to do it. Like right now, I mean, I'm catching 50, 80, 90 plus point targets with smaller size, but I completely lose my mind when I add size because I don't trust the move and I don't want to lose a big chunk of my drawdown. I don't want to lose 5,000 or not 5,000, $1,000, $15,000, $2,000 because I mean these accounts only have $45,000 to $5,000 of drawdown. I want to be able to take multiple trades over time. I can't take these big trades because then all the Nasdaq has to do is a random move and the account is gone. So I have to trade with smaller size, but it just feels like it's just wasted effort. That's what it feels like. So it's I feel like I've always been in a constant negotiation with how I should approach trading the Nasdaq. It just feels that way. It's either I trade heavy size, knowing that I may have maybe 3 to 4 mistakes, but each day feels like, is today going to be the day where the Nasdaq does something I get trapped on the wrong side of the market. I lose a big chunk of my drawdown. I'm not going to accept it, and I'm going to blow the account. That's always the constant thought. And I'm pretty sure a lot of Nasdaq traders share these same thoughts. Is today going to be the day where I trade on tilt and blow the account? But if I trade smaller size, that means I might have to trade more often. And we all know that you take one or two trades on the Nasdaq, and then kind of like what I did this morning, I was up about $600, and then at the end of the day, I'm down 3K. Don't know how the hell well, I do know how it happened. I just don't know how I got there. Actually, I do know how I got there. It's just one of those things where it's like, wow. I was up on the day, $600, and I ended the session down $3,700. What a big difference. What a big difference. $600 versus $3,700 is big difference. Well, okay. Well, maybe 168. Looks like it's always the same old song. Okay. Okay. Well, honestly, I kind of have to consider if I have to consider if the market is going to continue to trend higher here. I know we have non-farm payroll tomorrow. I know that's going to shake up the markets at 7:30 Central Time tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern. I don't know which target is which. Hmm. I appreciate that, Rocky Man. Are you in this trade yourself, or are you just waiting on the sidelines until the data gets released tomorrow morning? Well, hmm, hmm. You have your own business. What did you do? Hey, yo, what's up, Katie? I mean, I'll tell him, Rakit. I'll tell him. It's always nice to have Smith on with me. It's always better to have two people on the mic so we can talk strategy. Yeah, right, kid. That is true. That is true. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was actually kind of surprised that he feels that well, I mean, I kind of understand it. I understand streaming in front of people or trading in front of people. I mean, you don't want to look like an idiot, but then at the same time, if you trade on tilt, you don't want people to see that side of you. I mean, I get it. But I mean, at this point, I mean, maybe earlier on when there weren't too many people streaming and the expectation is that if you're trading in front of people, you're supposed to be a master guru trader and you make billions and jillions of dollars while trading. And that's what the expectation was. But I mean, nowadays it's like, well, that's not why people join the stream. I mean, they like you as a person. They don't care if you win or lose. So I was kind of surprised that he just wouldn't feel 100% comfortable just trading in front of people, regardless of trading habits. I mean, we all have them. Oh wow. I guess that's why they call you the Rocket Man. You own land with multiple oil palms. So shit, what's that show called? Landman? That's you? Landman. I'm starting to step into a world where the Space Force, I mean, we spoke briefly about what the Space Force really is, but man, that's basically the world. Space. When I initially heard of the Space Force, I thought that was something like with Elon Musk and people exploring space, outer space, and yada yada blah blah blah, sci-fi type of stuff. And I was like, okay, but that's not what it is. Everything is basically space and how much space you own and who owns that space, basically. Hmm. Maybe, maybe I should start doing that. Maybe I should start doing. Hmm. Maybe I should start doing that. Let's crunch some numbers. Let's crunch some numbers because I want to give my. What if I give myself 36 points? Let's just say I give myself 36 points. 36, that would be 72 times 4. Okay, well, that can't be. 170 ticks. So 29. 170 ticks. 126. So about 31 times 2 times 4. 15 times 2. So 31 plus 2. I think it was like 250 or something like that, right? 31, 1.5. So what I was calculating is the amount of risk that I'm going to put on per position. So basically the way that I trade is I play the probability game. I don't necessarily try to predict, but I just play the same thing every day. Or every time I take a trade, I'm always taking the breakout pullback trade. That's mostly the trades that I take. So usually when the market breaks out, I'm going to take the trade regardless of if I'm going against the trend or whatever. I'm going to take the breakout pullback trade because that trade has shown itself to work majority of the time. And what I'm calculating is how much I want to risk and how I want to enter into each trade. So currently I have a strategy where I have 4 micro contracts, and then 13.5 points. I add one more. I scale into one more contract, giving me 5 contracts, and I have my stop at 27 points. And that's a $250 loss, but I can make about $700 to $800 if I can get my full position filled. If the full position gets filled, if only the 4 contracts get filled, then it's like a $600 play. But still, I'm only risking $250 to make at least 6. So I can just focus on the probability. But I want to take advantage of the amount of movement that the Nasdaq has. So I kind of want to trade more often because I don't feel fulfilled, or I don't feel like I'm taking 100% advantage of the Nasdaq, and it's how it moves by just taking one trade. So I'm really calculating how I want to really build on top of the breakout pullback trade, because there's some trades that, like fair value gap trades, those trades work. They may have not worked before, but they, like, for whatever reason, they work super well now, and I've seen it. Actually, I think I can probably show it to y'all guys. I've seen it, man. It's like the fair value gap trade works, and I'm looking to add that to my arsenal. But I just have to kind of do it right. I just got to make sure that I'm doing it right. So when I say that the fair value gap trade works, you see right there, the fair value gap, we got this big push and the market just basically bounces at this fair value gap. It works, man. It works now. If I go back in time, you can see that the market it bounces at every fair value gap. Like it just does for whatever reason. Those green boxes with the lime green boxes are fair value gaps. Obviously the red ones are the bearish fair value gaps, and it's just been working. So I want to be able to safely add this trade to my arsenal with the Nasdaq. I mean, first, I don't 100% trust it yet, even though it's shown itself to be super consistent. It's shown itself to be consistent. Just don't know how I should safely add it to my strategy, though. You know, I used to enjoy trading CL. Let's actually look at CL. I mean, we're kind of getting close to the end. I'm gonna leave these limit orders on gold and silver. I do believe that if we do see a pullback, I mean, with all this structure right here, it's highly unlikely for this thing to not continue to go in my direction if we see a pullback. It's highly unlikely. But if the market finds a way to stop me out, then, you know, we'll just figure it out tomorrow. But so, and this is what I was talking about, I think, what, in last night's stream maybe? No, it was 2 streams ago. About if you're trading CL, you're going to want to have that 21 EMA on your chart, because it's definitely the most powerful indicator when trading CL, because you see that how much CL loves this EMA. It loves that 21 EMA. It loves it. If it breaks and it gets to that 50 EMA, the 50 EMA usually knocks it back down, but it'll ride that 21 EMA to the end. And when you see the market break, okay, all right, shit. God damn, dude. All right. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, when you finally see the market break from that 21 EMA, a good follow-up trade is a short, the retest of the 21 EMA. But I do agree with you on the longs though, because we got a cross. We now have price above the 21 EMA, so I wouldn't be surprised that once price taps that 21 EMA, we'll probably see a continuation here. Well, shit, I guess we'll see. Looks like we're seeing some green in the Nasdaq. Okay, so all right. All right, so we're seeing some bullishness in the Nasdaq. As long as I get the bulk of this position filled, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with the bulk of this position being filled, and I'll leave a runner to the what is it called? The initial balance high. Right now, I'm debating if I should just focus on the initial balance or if I should focus on the orb. I have both up. I have both. What I want to see is I want to see if the market breaks the orb high or low, and then I want to see if the market breaks the initial balance high or low. Those are 2 price structures that I pay attention to, but sometimes they do have conflicting information. And that conflicting information can create pause. And that's what I'm trying to overcome. I don't like when I'm doing my analysis of the chart and I have conflicting information, and then I have an unwillingness to skip a trade or skip a setup. And that setup is because I usually find myself in a situation where if I don't take the trade, then that trade usually works. And then when I finally take the trade, then it finds a way not to work. So it's like, well, but the Nasdaq is grinding up. So, all right. So do I need to reset this platform or something? Because that lag is that's not where it's at. But what's going on in obviously in the Middle East? I think let's actually look at a chart. Let's look at a CL chart and see where CL can go. Because that conflict is not going to resolve itself anytime soon. So If you look at a daily chart, you know what? Let me look at a weekly chart. Look at that. Well, that can't be right. That can't be right. Let me look at a continuous contract. Look at the continuous contract because that's not right. Because I was like, yeah, CL, I know CL reached into the 130s at one point. So I know that that's not right. Okay. So the all-time highs right now on CL, and that's not right. That's not 40. All-time high right now is about 100, and I remember trading this. Or no, that's not it. I traded CL and okay, there we go. I traded CL during this time. I remember trading this, and I remember this drop all the way back down because when I was trading CL was extremely bullish, and just like gold, it seemed like it would never stop going higher. And when it started going lower, it caught a lot of us. It caught a lot of the CL traders off guard. I stopped trading CL. I think when CL reached about like $70 or whichever that level was where the reserves were buying oil at. Once it reached that level, and I think it was probably in 2023, that's when I stopped trading CL. I haven't taken a CL trade, a serious CL trade since then. Because that's when I feel that CL became more. It didn't present a lot of setups during New York. It chopped all in New York. It had all the price action in the London session while I'm asleep. And my setup usually happened overnight. So I kind of moved away from this and I haven't been back since. But we do have all these trap highs. But it does look like if the market continues to push higher, we can see a stop run and it can push, especially if it gets above 94. But I'm pretty sure when it gets up to this high right here, we'll probably see a rejection because no matter how bullish or bearish CL can be, if there is an unmitigated high, kind of like what's happening right here, we have a war in the Middle East. And CL still rejected at this double top high. That was something that has stayed consistent with CL. And I expected if it does continue to go higher, we'll see the same reaction at these highs. It'll double top at highs for sure. But if we can get above 95, yeah, we can definitely see a squeeze. And I guess we'll just see higher gas prices when we go to pump. Just see higher gas prices. Okay. All right. So we're coming to the end. So we can look at whatever So obviously tomorrow we have non-farm payroll. I was about to say, where the hell is it at? It was right there. Non-farm payroll tomorrow. And we also have retail sales, but I mean, honestly, everybody's going to be focusing on non-farm payrolls. I don't believe that the Fed is going to cut rates anytime soon. I don't believe we're going to see a rate cut. I think if non-farm payrolls, if we see a miss, we could potentially see a pump. I guess the speculation would be that the Fed would be more willing to cut rates to save the labor market. I can only assume that would be the speculation. And so we could potentially see a pump. But if it comes at expectation or then I really don't expect much. Let's actually look at the Nasdaq real quick, and then that'll probably be the last thing that we do. Let's look at a daily chart. You know, that's hard to say. We see a cross of the long and short term EMAs here on the chart. All right. Okay. I don't know why I don't want to refresh this page either. Okay. So we're seeing a cross of the EMAs. We now have the medium term above the short term EMA, but we still have the long term EMA. Our price is still above the long term EMA. So if the bears are going to be serious here, obviously they're going to have to get price underneath this long term EMA, and then they're going to need to hold. But all price really needs to do is push above this high, which is more likely based on the current daily structure. We have the market trending higher. We have the market pulling back. And we could potentially see a continuation to the upside here, which I think is more likely. This is not a bearish structure. I mean, the bearish structure is not in. It's not in yet. I wouldn't short this. $160, 125 or 130. Well, okay. If we're going to look at the Qs though, we have the market bouncing at this dark pool level. We have price coming right back into the 30-minute range from yesterday's session, or from the earlier session. And now we got price sitting at this gamma level, this positive gamma level right here. We do have this order block sitting right here for the Qs. We could see price come into this and we could potentially see a slight rejection. But what I think is probably more likely to happen is a break and a pullback into this order block for continuation. So we did have a lot of people writing puts going into the close of yesterday's session though. We do see some buying puts, but obviously the people that wrote puts yesterday made their money. We do see some people writing calls and they probably lost money. Depending on, well, let's look at it. So 608, yeah, obviously they lost money. So, oh shit. They definitely lost money. They bought these, they bought them at 603. They wrote 608 calls when price was at 603. And obviously price is at 609, so they lost money. So, I mean, we got mixed data and the options. We have mixed data. So, at least for right now, my bias is bullish. We'll see what happens after the daily is released tomorrow. We'll see what happens. And I'm pretty sure that, you know what, I'm gonna just in case. Just put it underneath this low. I'm pretty sure I get my my target filled here, but I mean, I guess if it goes past this low, then I'll probably get stopped out anyway. But I just don't want it to be in striking distance of price, because I'm gonna leave this position running overnight. I'm not going to monitor it. So, okay. Ah, shit, look at that. I should have just taken the trade short, huh? On gold. Yeah, let's look at gold real quick, and then we'll be done for the night. So, I mean, so I was considering taking a short on gold, but I just knew that it was going to be choppy. I mean, I guess it worked somewhat. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, I was about to say. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. So 49. Yeah, you're gonna probably see a continuation here on gold. So. Okay. All right, guys. Looks like the market is still reacting at this trading range that we've drawn earlier this week. We're still getting price rejecting from the bottom of this trading range. So I'm pretty sure this trading range is definitely going to play a big part in tomorrow. We'll probably see a breakout. And once we see the market break out, I'll try to look for a pullback trade somewhere going into tomorrow's session. So, but I'm out of time for this session, guys. I do appreciate everybody that joined me tonight. We'll definitely come back tomorrow morning, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody, and keep on jabbing.